Yeah, I think, as far as my grandchildren, there is nobody on this earth like my grandchildren. Nobody.
A guy I used to work with at the telephone company years ago, he said his dad used to say to him, to be a father, he said, that's really special. He says, that's a wonderful thing. He says, but to be a grandfather, he says, now we're talking something really beyond that, He says, way beyond being a father. And this guy used to say, I can't believe my dad says that about me, But he's right, it's just a completely different relationship you have with the grandkids. I don't feel an expectation to correct them, even though I do from time to time. But I feel like that's not my responsibility. Our responsibility. Our responsibility is to be friends with them, and it's great. It's marvelous.
So let's go through each of the grandkids and give
Well,
one
I don't want
word.
to skip any that aren't here yet.
Well, that's an unfortunate reality of the situation. We can't predict the future. But for those that are here,
Well, Aiden was our first grandchild. And he was, for me, in his early months, he was difficult because he cried all the time if Tricia wasn't holding him. But I adored Aiden.
if you had one word or sentence to summarize Aiden, what would it be?
He's filled with wonder about... No, that's more Jack. I would say Aiden is probably the most imaginative child I've ever seen.
My word would be frenetic. Everything is, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do it fast, whatever. Everything seems to be in a hurry with him all the time. When he wants to do something, he's like, I gotta go, Even going to the bathroom, it's like, oh, I gotta go, Kind of hits him suddenly.
Because his mind is always in his head. He's always dreaming
He's
up
always cooking something up.
some
always thinking of something.
imaginative thing. He's wonderful.
What about Jack?
Jack is a sweetheart. He is filled with wonder at the world. He said something to me last week. We were watching, he wanted to watch The Great Mouse Detective, so we watched that. We're watching that, and he said, I love detectives. And I said, you do? And he said, yeah. I said, Uncle Charlie's a detective. He said, he is? And he looked at me with those great big brown eyes and said, that's probably why we don't see him very often. There are so many mysteries. And that summarizes in many ways Jack. He's loving. He's always looking for if one of the smaller children needs something or is hurt, he's always attentive to that. Just a kind-hearted, wonderful little boy.
In a sense, Jack will be the thinker as he gets older. He'll do things at a measured pace. He won't rush into anything. On the other hand, I think Aiden will be one who, if something looks like a good thing to do, he's going to be at it, It's just the sense I get.
What about Haley? Oh, I'm sorry, Madeline. Well, actually, Madeline was before
let's just
Jack.
finish.
All right, we'll go with Haley.
Haley is this beautiful little fun-filled girl. She laughs a lot. She's loving. She loves her pawpaw. She's a pawpaw's girl.
I think she's going to take on a lot of characteristics that Rachel had growing up. She's got two older brothers, and I think she's going to end up with a lot of Rachel's characteristics. Pretty sure of herself. Handle herself. Not going to be afraid of boys or anything like that. I think Tricia had the best comment or no, Carol. Carol. She wanted to know when Haley was going to be getting her own apartment. She seemed old enough that she had to be living in her own apartment about now.
What about Madeline?
Madeline. Madeline is my oldest granddaughter. She is such a sweet little girl, so obedient. To a fault, she's obedient.
Amen.
Um,
If she's told not to do something, you can't even get her to do it when her mom and dad aren't there.
and we're in charge. Papa tried last 2 nights ago, tried to give her the fruit chews, a pack of fruit chews we had brought. She said, I'm not allowed to have those.
She said she had already had 2 packs that day. She wasn't allowed to have more than 2 packs. So she
Papa
would not eat
said,
the
we're
fruit
in
chews.
charge. We're babysitting you. You can have these that I brought. She said, no, I can't. She didn't eat them.
So I ate them.
But, and she is, for the most part, very considerate of smaller children. She takes good care of Evie, well, supervised care. And she has her moments when she's a kid, but she's just a good little girl. Evie is just starting to blossom, so it's kind of hard to tell. And, but she's got lots of grins. And unlike Madeline, I think Evie's going to be pretty forceful and know what she wants, and she's not going to be as supple as Madeline has been in shaping her.
Yeah, Madeline has always been a snuggler. She's always willing to sit on your lap and kind of cozy up to you. Evie, she wants no part of that. She'll come over, give you a kiss, give you a hug, and then she down. I want to be down. And Carol, that's certainly not the way she is with Carol, but that's the way she appears to be with everybody else. It's like, okay, I don't want you holding me up. I got things to do.
How about
And little Delaney. Delaney, who's named after my mother. You have never felt welcomed until you've been welcomed by Delaney. I mean, she literally, when she was a little younger, would go between Dad and me, hugging and kissing for 15 minutes. First to me, hugging and kissing. Then she'd run over, Papa. And she'd go on and just keep doing this. She is full of energy, just like her dad was. She's got an infectious laugh. What do you want to say, Papa?
Well, I don't know that I could add much to that. I mean, I certainly agree with what you said about you haven't been greeted until you've been greeted by her. I mean, she just goes gaga when you walk in. And nothing about that feels bad, I can tell you that. It's a pleasure to walk in and see her at any time, because she's gonna welcome you overboard.
and what about Rachel and Dave?
And Rachel is carrying a baby now. And I can't wait to see him or her. And it's been, every grandchild is unique, and each one is just the sky as far as I'm concerned. I remember a few years ago, we were waiting for somebody to show up, one or more of our grandchildren, and I said to Dad, I feel like I was back in high school waiting for a Friday night date that I couldn't wait for. I haven't felt that since then.
Well,
So that's really how it feels. You're anticipating it with real happiness, expecting to enjoy it thoroughly.
And I think we're both pretty convinced that Rachel will be a good mother. and Dave will be a good father. Rachel, right now, seems like nothing better than to be with her nieces and nephews. And so I just think she's going to be a great mother, and they'll be great parents for their baby. Looking forward to that.
My only hope is that I'll be able to see all of my grandchildren be born. But if I don't, I hope they know that I'll be watching and sending my love.